Hi, I'm Jordan. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 easy ways to connect your TV to an audio mixer. A lot of people want to do this for a lot of different ways, whether or not you're doing karaoke, you want your TV and your microphones all into one sound system, or if you're like me and I just have my TV and my record player and a couple other sources all connected to an audio mixer, then that audio mixer can then connect to a higher quality pair of speakers. No matter what you're doing here, and no matter what type of TV that you have, one of these methods that I'm going to show you in this video will work for you. Okay, before we get started, I just want to walk through my setup here. I have a Hisense TV here. The reason I have this one in this video is this is the only TV I own that I can demonstrate all 5 ways with. That Hisense TV is connected to an Apple TV. The Apple TV is just feeding it content. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing, whether or not you're using a cable box, a computer, any type of external device. The Apple TV that I have connected, this box here, is largely irrelevant. I'm just using it to demonstrate the TV. For an audio mixer here, I'm using the Mackie Pro FX 6V3 Plus. This is an awesome brand new little audio mixer here. It has a ton of features. I'm going to show you some cool things, especially if you're doing karaoke and that type of thing. This is a really great audio mixer to consider. And this is connected to a small powered speaker here on my side as well. Now, the nice thing about audio mixers, obviously, is that you can connect to almost any type of speaker, but I'm just using a small speaker for this video just to keep the table clear as I can demonstrate everything easier. If you are looking for pricing or specs for anything that you see in this video, we have links to everything down in the description below, where you can find current up-to-date pricing from a variety of online retailers to make sure that you are getting the best price possible. Next, let's take a quick look at the audio mixer here. I just want to cover a little bit of theory to make sure that we're all caught up. Most audio mixers will look something like this. You'll have 1 or 2 XLR inputs here that you can plug microphones into, and then you'll have 1 or 2 1/4-inch inputs. Usually these 1/4-inch inputs are like this. They're in a stereo pair. So you have one side for left, one side for right. So if you connect something into that, then it preserves that stereo pair. So if you're doing karaoke or listening to music, you want that stereo image. So those stereo pairs are really nice. Below that, we find a line input here. This is basically an aux input. So if you are connecting your phone using an aux cable, you can do that. And then there's Bluetooth connectivity as well. Now, when you're connecting your TV to your audio mixer, you don't want to be using the first 2 inputs here. You can definitely plug 1/4-inch cables into these. You can see that the center is hollowed out. Some audio mixers don't let you, but this one does. But the reason I avoid the first 2 channels is I like to leave those open for microphones, because the first channels on audio mixers generally give you better EQ, they give you compression, you can add effects, all that type of stuff. When you're listening to your TV, you mostly just want that line input coming from your TV to go into your audio mixer so you can control volume. You don't need a lot of the bells and whistles. You want the raw sound from the TV and then control the volume. The bigger audio mixer that you get, you will get EQ and some of these processing features as you want. But for the purposes of this, I'm just using a small audio mixer. So I'm going to use the line inputs. Those are the best fit for a TV. Now, if your audio mixer only has RCA inputs, you can follow along this video still. You just need slightly different cables. I'll do my best to explain it, but I'll have everything linked down in the description below as well. Now, out of the 5 methods that I'm going to show you, they break down into 2 categories. The first 3 methods are the easiest. They take the sound directly from the TV. The benefits of this is that you can connect anything that you want to the TV, and then we get a clean feed from the TV to the audio mixer. The TV, in a way, is kind of acting as a sub-mixer. It'll just take whatever audio is supposed to be on the TV and kick it out to the audio mixer. The last 2 methods that I'm going to show you are just a little bit more involved, and you'd use these if your TV doesn't have any of the other options that I'm going to show you in this video. Okay, the first way that we're going to show you is how to connect the headphone output of your TV into an audio mixer. This is the least expensive, most simple, straightforward way for taking the headphone jack out of your TV and connecting it to an audio mixer. Now, not all TVs have a headphone jack, so if you don't, just skip ahead to the next section. If your TV does have a headphone jack, you want to use a cable like this. This will take the headphone output of your TV and it will convert it to 2 different mono jacks to connect to your audio mixer. One is left, one is right. So I'm going to connect this cable to the back of the TV first. Okay, next we can connect the other end of this cable to our audio mixer. You can see for line input 3, 4 here, there's a left and a right input. Red is always right. So I'll do red to right, gray to left. Then I can turn up my volume here. And you can see that this method is working. So that's the easiest, simplest, least expensive. If you are looking for a link to that cable, we have links down in the description below. Okay, next for option 2, if your TV has an optical output, it looks like this, then you can use this to take the audio out of the TV and bring it into your audio mixer. In order to do that, we need some type of audio extractor or audio converter. You can see on the back of this device that it has an optical input. And then on the front, it has a headphone out or RCA out. No matter what method that you want to take to get out of this box, you can do that and then connect that to the audio mixer. So we're going to walk through that. I do just want to point out one thing on the back of this converter is I want to make sure that the switch is turned to optical. There are all types of these online. I do have links down in the description to this one, but you can use this to convert optical into your audio mixer. So I'm going to connect this device into power supply so it's powered up. Next, we need an optical cable like this one. Now, these optical cables, if you buy them, they will often have a rubber cap on the tip. You want to keep those caps if you ever unplug this. How this works is it's actually shooting a laser through the cable. So if you get something in there, the laser won't work as effective. So just try to keep those tips clean. If you do take this off, just put these rubber caps back on. Okay, so I'm going to connect the one end of the optical cable to the optical output on my TV. Once that is connected, I'm just going to show the camera here. You can see that the red laser is activated. There's red coming out of the end of the cable. I don't know if the camera will show that super well or not. Next, I can connect that optical cable to the back or the input of this optical cable conversion box. Now, I already showed you what cable that you need to connect the headphone output of this into your audio mixer. So now I'm going to show you a way to connect the RCA outputs of this to your audio mixer. In order to do that, we're just going to use an analog converter cable like this. It is just an analog signal, so this will work fine. It'll go RCA left and right to 1/4 inch left and right. So I'm going to connect black to white, red to red. Then I can connect the other end of this cable to our audio mixer. So I'm going to go red to right and black to left. That's all connected. Now I can turn it up. So you can tell that this method is working as well. This is option number 2. Okay, next for option 3, we're going to use a protocol called ARC or eARC. How this works is it's basically an audio protocol that will take audio out of the HDMI input on your TV. So not only can you use your HDMI inputs as inputs on your TV, most modern TVs will have one HDMI input that's labeled HDMI ARC or HDMI eARC. You can see here how this one is labeled. So how this works is you can connect an HDMI cable to that input and it will actually pull audio out. Then we will connect to a device like this. This is actually the same device that I used in the previous option number 2. We can connect to the ARC input and then that will take audio out and get it into our audio mixer. For me, since this device does both, you can buy all types of different devices that do this. I have links down to this one in the description. You can get them separate. For me, I found it easier to get one device that does optical and ARC. It was only a couple bucks more, so I figured might as well get it rather than needing 2 devices down the road or something. But for me, you just have to go to this one switch here and let it know that we're using the ARC input. So what we want to do now is we want to just use a normal HDMI cable. We're going to connect it to the HDMI input on our TV that says ARC or eARC. Once that's connected to the back of the TV, then I can connect the other end into this converter box. And now that audio signal will be coming from the TV into this box and from this box into our audio mixer using the previous cable that we had from the last example. I'm going to turn this up now. So you can hear that this works, and this is the third method. Okay, so for the first 3 options, those all relied on the TV having a headphone out, an optical out, or an ARC or eARC out. Now what happens if your TV is just bare bones, it doesn't have any way to get output out of the back of your TV? If that's the case, you can use an audio extractor or an audio interceptor, and how they basically work is you can put this device in line between your audio source. So for me, I'm using this Apple TV, which is just a box that I'm using to get content on the TV. You can connect this in between that and the TV, It will pass the video signal through, so you get signal on the TV, but it will extract the audio out of it, and then you can use all different types of options. So I'm going to show you this. On the back, we have an HDMI input. You can tell that it's powered up. I plugged it in already. Then on the front, you have an HDMI output. So you need to take the input from your box and connect it to this. And then you'll take the output of this and connect that to the TV. And then you get 3 different ways to get audio out of it. So there's optical, there's RCA, or there's a stereo output. For this video, we're going to use the stereo output. I'm going to walk through all this now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the HDMI cable out of the back of the TV and connect this to our HDMI input. So right now there's an HDMI cable going from this black box into this new converter box. Next, I need a second HDMI cable. I'm going to connect this to the front of this box. Then I'm going to connect the other end of this HDMI cable into my TV. So if I wake up the Apple TV here, we should see that the video signal comes all the way through this box and back on the TV. So it is working there. I'm just going to hit play on my music again. So now the video is working. It's going from the black box through the extractor to the TV. Now we need audio. So to do that, we're going to use this cable here, which will take stereo audio out of the headphone jack on this thing and convert it to dual mono left and right. So we can connect that to our audio mixer. Connect this. So that's all connected. And then the other end, red is right, gray is left. Then I can turn the volume up. And there we have it. So this inline audio extractor is taking audio out of the system and bringing it into our audio mixer. Now you might be thinking, this is kind of a pain in the butt because I have 5 devices connected to my TV. The whole point is to try to get everything into one. If that's you, you can use a bigger version of this. So I'll have a link down to this in the description below. So you can plug up to 4 HDMI inputs into this and then connect one to your TV. So this will kind of act like a video mixer for all your devices. So if you have like an Xbox, a cable box, an Apple TV, a computer, you can connect 4 different devices to this. This will go between those 4 and your TV. And then on the front of the device, it will kick out audio for you. So you can take optical audio out or left-right. I'd recommend coming out of the left-right, just like we did in this example. And then on the front, you can switch between those 4 input devices that you want. So all types of different things, but this is option number 4 in a small and a big version. Okay, so for option number 5, you can use this if all other options are exhausted. I'm going to explain kind of the pros and cons of each once I show you how to do it. So if you have an external box like I do, the Apple TV, a lot of them are Bluetooth oriented. So if you're connecting an iPad to your TV or something like that, you can use a Bluetooth output to connect to the Bluetooth input on your audio mixer. So we're going to use Bluetooth. Not all audio mixers have a Bluetooth input, but one of the reasons I love the ProFX 6v3 here is because this thing will just eat anything, including Bluetooth. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to my settings, go all the way back, go down to my settings here, flip over, go settings, going to go to remotes and devices, going to go to Bluetooth, and then it's searching for devices right now, so I'll hold the Bluetooth button on my audio mixer till it flashes blue, and then you can see that the ProFX V3 showed up. I'm going to connect that. And now, if we turn up that channel, actually I need to play music first, so I'll go back now. So that speaker is connected. I'll go to my music, go to Epidemic Sound. I'm just using them because it's royalty free, so I can play it on YouTube. Hit play. And now we have a Bluetooth connection between our TV and the audio mixer, and then the audio mixer is wired to our speakers. So that's the 5th option. Not all audio mixers have that option. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if you're using Bluetooth, is that the audio will have a slight delay. If you're just doing karaoke or something like that and you have words on the screen, you're not going to notice that delay because that music is coming into the audio mixer, the same place that your microphones are. And so you're going to be synced up singing along, just the words might be like half a second ahead of you. It's not a big deal for 99% of people. Now, if you're using Bluetooth for the sake of watching videos, you might notice that there is just a tiny audio sync issue. The audio might just be a little bit ahead or a little bit behind. So this is my least favorite option. That's why it's option number 5. But for a lot of people, it's a good way to do it. And people like just being wireless and using Bluetooth. I hope this video has been helpful. Again, if you are looking for links to anything that you've seen in this video, we have links down in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.